This week's clip is from a coaching call with a business owner a few months ago where we talk about how to understand conflicting advice that you will get from advisors. As I'm sure many of you know, advisors play an important role in your business, and sometimes you can get conflicting advice from some of them. This clip goes over some strategies in how to separate and understand which advice to follow, and most importantly, what your role as a business owner is. Here's the clip.
Let's talk about that dynamic now. Kind of like, we just finished talking about how you can rely on your coach, communicate any challenges you have. Did you notice how you posed the exact same challenge to two different experts and you got two different answers? It is weird, probably because you haven't been through that before, but the reason why that happened, a lawyer is looking at it from the perspective of what's going to give you the best legal protection. A tax accountant looking at it from what's going to give you the best tax benefits. Right? As the captain, or as someone in your position of going down this path, it's up to you to decide which of those two is more important. Is it more important that when you're starting out you maximize your tax advantage, or is it more important for you to maximize your legal protection? Right? So the answers you got were very consistent. That's actually exactly what I was expecting you would get. And one of the reasons why I suggested, speak to these different types of people is because I want you to see kind of where that power of advisors comes in, because your experience is going to tell you this is the path you want to go down. But when you talk to a lawyer, they're telling you need to go down this path. When you talk to an accountant, they're telling you need to go down this path. Right? So it's up to you to decide as you're going down this, do you want to reposition so that you're positioned to maximize your legal protection, or do you want to reposition so that you're maximizing your tax benefits? Does that sort of make sense? Great. That's a great thing to point out. Like that's absolutely fantastic you pointed out. Did you speak to other types of lawyers as well? So you spoke to one that specializes in trademarks and patents. Was there a different type? Okay, so tax specialty lawyers and a trademark lawyer. What was the third? So two and three. Okay, great. Did you get the same answer from all three? That, again, just talking not so much about the details, but talking more about that process of seeking advisors. I just want to verify you kind of see where that value comes in, right? Where you started out thinking, hey, you know what, I'm not sure about this. You made a bunch of calls. You didn't pay a cent, right? You didn't pay them for any of this insight, right? Because what you went to them was a very specific question, and it was something that was very easy and obvious for them to answer. So they were able to give you that answer. Down the line, when you have more complex questions, that's when you'll actually have to pay someone to do an analysis. But the process is the same. When you talk to a trademark lawyer, you're probably right. She was thinking, from her experience, is it better to do a trademark for a sole proprietorship or an LLC? But then you also spoke to tax lawyers, and that's when they came back to you and said, hey, use an LLC. It's going to provide you the maximum amount of legal protection. Right? So when you switch to the accountant, you notice because their focus is more on how can I reduce the amount of taxes I pay, as opposed to how can I provide the maximum amount of legal protection, they gave you a completely different response, right? So the purpose of that exercise isn't so much about the answers. It's just for you to go through that process and understand you had a challenge before you. You sought out advisors. Based on the expertise that the advisors had, you were able to get back different answers. And am I guessing correctly that the two accountants you spoke to, they gave you pretty much the same consistent response, right? So the whole purpose of seeking advisors before making that decision, and I'm really happy to see, you also went and did your own research and compare it, because that is going to be key as you move forward on this course, is for you to be able to identify what is the most applicable in your situation, requires you to get advice from experts, do independent research, and then ultimately make the decision of what suits your business the best. But the main reason we covered advisors first is because that's something you're going to keep doing. Anytime you run into a challenge, if you can't solve the problem yourself, if you've done some research and you really want expert advice, someone who's been there, done that, that's when you can reach out to advisors. Now, keep in mind, like, if you keep calling the same lawyer every week and going, hey, I've just got a short question, they're probably going to want to start charging you for that, because you're using up a lot of their time. But just making a quick call like you did previously, that's a very simple question, easy to answer, right? So the main purpose of the seeking advisors is just to show you, even though you feel like you have limited expertise, the reason why it doesn't matter so much is because you know how you can get expertise from the right person, right? So if you think of it through that perspective of, well, I can't charge so much because I don't know as much, all of a sudden now, do you need to know tax law? Do you need to know, like, business law, corporate law, any of that? Or do you just need to have access to a great advisor or a great team?
I hope you found that clip helpful. Let me know in the comments below, Do you rely on the expertise of advisors when you run your business? And how do you decide whose advice to follow when you get conflicting advice? As always, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more videos, which I release every Wednesday. If you're a business owner struggling to solve some problem in your business, in the description below, you'll find a link for a complimentary one-on-one strategy session with me. I look forward to speaking with you.